Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into a book that has touched millions of lives, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. We're going to unpack the big ideas, the powerful philosophy hidden inside this seemingly simple story, and really get to the heart of why it connects with so many of us.
But before we even get to the hero of the story, we got to talk about the author's own wild journey. Because, believe it or not, his story is almost a perfect reflection of the book's core message. I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but when The Alchemist first came out in Brazil, it was a total flop, a spectacular failure. The publisher literally dropped the book because nobody was buying it. It looked like it was just going to disappear forever.
And yet, here we are. That same book has now been translated into more than 80 languages. It's one of the most translated books by any living author. So what gives? How on earth did it go from a total dud to this global phenomenon?
Well, according to Coelho himself, he just never lost faith. He said writing this book was his own personal legend. See, for him, the treasure wasn't gold. It was his ability to write, and he was just determined to follow that path no matter what. And that idea right there, that's the heart and soul of the story we're about to jump into.
All right, so that brings us to our hero, a young shepherd from Andalusia named Santiago. And his whole adventure, it doesn't kick off with some big explosion. Nope, it starts with a whisper, a dream that just keeps coming back.
So on one hand, you've got Santiago's everyday life, his sheep, this comfortable, predictable world he knows inside and out. But then, on the other hand, you have this dream that's basically haunting him, a promise of a hidden treasure all the way over at the Egyptian pyramids, a completely different world. And what's so interesting about Santiago is that he's not just some guy who accidentally falls into an adventure. No way. He actually chose to be a shepherd because he wanted to travel. He even went against his parents, who wanted him to be a priest, all because, as the book puts it, he had wanted to know the world. So you see, the seeds for this whole quest were planted way, way back.
So after getting some pretty useless advice from a dream interpreter, Santiago is just about ready to forget the whole thing. But then his journey really kicks off. He meets this mysterious old guy on a park bench who, get this, claims he's a king.
Okay, so this king, his name is Melchizedek. He starts laying out the book's entire philosophy for Santiago. And he starts with what he calls the world's greatest lie. And what's that lie? It's the belief that at some point we just lose control and our lives are run by fate, that we're just passengers and things just happen to us.
So to counter that lie, the king introduces this idea of a personal legend. And look, this isn't just some goal you set for yourself. It's way deeper. It's your true calling in life, a mission that comes from what he calls the soul of the universe. It's that thing you've always wanted to do, ever since you were a kid.
And this is the big one. The king tells him that when you really want something, when you pour your whole heart into your personal legend, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. I mean, think about that for a second. It's such a powerful idea. The universe isn't just watching from the sidelines, it's actively on your team.
Okay, but how do you actually know you're going the right way? Well, the king tells him he has to learn to read the omens. And in this story's world, omens aren't just random coincidences. They're actual signs, like a secret code, the very language of God that's there to guide you.
And it's not all just philosophical talk either. The king gives Santiago two actual physical tools to help him out. A couple of stones named Urim and Thummim. Basically, they're for getting a simple yes or no answer when you're stuck, and the omens are a little fuzzy.
So that's it. Santiago is convinced. He makes this huge decision. He sells his entire flock of sheep. I mean, this is everything he knows. And he takes that money and gets on a boat to Tangier in Africa. The adventure is officially on.
Right, so about that whole universe conspiring to help you thing, it immediately feels like the complete opposite. Literally, within hours of setting foot in Africa, he puts his trust in the wrong guy, gets distracted by a shiny sword, and poof, his new friend is gone along with every single penny he has. He's completely stranded.
And this right here, this is his first major test. He's alone. He has no money, and he has a choice to make. Is he just a poor victim of a thief, defeated and ready to crawl back home? Or is he an adventurer in quest of his treasure, who's just hit a temporary snag?
He chooses adventurer, and so he finds a job just cleaning glasses in a little shop owned by a crystal merchant. And what seems like a massive detour, a total setback, actually ends up being one of the most crucial parts of his entire journey.
So this is where we meet a really interesting character,
someone who's basically the opposite of Santiago. This crystal merchant, just like our hero, has a lifelong dream, his own personal legend. He wants to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca. But oh man, the way they think about their dreams could not be more different.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The merchant is totally paralyzed by fear. He'd rather just have the dream, to think about it, than take the risk of actually doing it. What if it's not what he expects? The idea of the dream is what fuels him, not the reality. He's basically a walking, talking warning sign for Santiago.
So Santiago buckles down and works in that shop for a whole year. And he's not just passing time, he completely turns the failing business around. Along the way, he's learning about business, about patience, and he picks up this new really important idea, maktub. It's an Arabic phrase that means it is written. It's the sense that some things are just meant to be, which just reinforces this feeling that his personal legend isn't some fantasy, it's his destiny.
All right, so after a year, he's saved up enough money. He could go home, buy twice as many sheep, and just forget this whole thing. Or he could keep going. He decides to press on. And what comes to his mind is this little story the old king told him, a parable about a boy who had to carry a spoon with 2 drops of oil around a huge, beautiful palace. The secret of happiness, the king had said, is to see all the wonders of the world, but to never ever forget the drops of oil on the spoon. And that leaves us with the story's big challenge, really. It's all about balance, isn't it? The oil on that spoon, that's your purpose, your personal legend. And the palace, well, that's the journey, with all its incredible sights and, yeah, its distractions. So the question for Santiago, and really for all of us, is a tough one. How do you chase after your biggest dreams while still remembering to actually live and experience the beautiful world all around you?